base de piezas modulares. Este es un detalle de las ventanas, de las puertas, en fin, de muchas otras imágenes que les traje a ustedes. El proyecto tiene cerca de 70 planos. Este es el arreglo de las escaleras internas. Estos son los bloques modulares con que también se hace el hogar de la luminaria arriba. Y esto es obviamente donde va a estar el seguro de la imagen de nuestra amada en este caso. Me voy a detener aquí un instante porque esta es una de las cosas que nos ha movido a que querramos hacer este faro, emprender este faro. Hemos tenido, como ven en la imagen, una sucesión de faros en un mismo sitio. Es bueno que recuerden que en Venezuela nuestras playas son de 365 días al año con 28 o 30 grados de temperatura promedio. Entonces estos faros son obviamente con un potencial turístico importante. Lamentablemente solamente hay de los 110 faros en Venezuela, solo 3 pueden ser abiertos al público, pero solo uno está abierto en este momento al público desde el 2006, porque es de reciente data. Nuestro particular propósito es sustituir al menos 40 faros de los 110 existentes que tienen alto potencial turístico para de esta manera apoyarnos en la autogestión del mantenimiento de las estructuras. Entonces, este faro en particular tiene una playa muy conocida allá en Venezuela, en Morrocoy, en el Parque Nacional Morrocoy. Y tratándose del costo del proyecto, hemos hecho unos contactos precisamente el año pasado con el Ministerio de Turismo y creo que nos podrían ayudar en algo al financiamiento del primer faro, que es el que precisamente cuesta más dinero. El segundo podría costar algo así como esto. Este es en el caso del faro grande. Y el faro pequeño sería este costo y el segundo este otro costo. Le agradezco enormemente su atención. Si tienen alguna pregunta al final de la sesión, le agradecería mucho sus comentarios y sus aportes. Muchas gracias.
So thank you very much, Mr. Carlos. The next speaker are Henrik Oysterberg. He's a civil engineer, and since 1984 he has been working as a senior civil servant with the German Federal Waterways and Shipping Administration in the field of waterways, supervision, environmental protection, aids navigation, traffic technology, surveying in different waterways, and shipping office for the Kiel Canal and the River Elbe. Since the year 2000, system engineer in the traffic technology and telematics division for the waterways and shipping directorates North and Northwest, and in charge of technical management of AtoN and infrastructure for the German coast. His paper is about an ocean in mind, holistic navigation technology.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kia ora, or as they used to say on Hawaii, aloha. We are back in the South Pacific, and on the left side up you see Mau Piailuk. He is an old navigator of Micronesia, some say the last one, which still lived in the last century. And on the right side you see a canoe. It's not a small outrigger canoe, it's a little bit bigger, 60 feet long, and that is the type of boat, as far as we can say today, they use to go, for example, from Tahiti to Hawaii, to Cook Islands, to New Zealand, everywhere. And the photo on the left side down, that is Nainoa Thompson. That was an experiment of the University of Hawaii in the last century already. It's already some 25 years ago, or more than that, all these experiments, and they did it to find out more about the heritage of Polynesia and the culture. But I think we have missed, at least I don't know anything about that, to make make some use of this knowledge for navigation. Maybe we call it A navigation, ancient navigation, or H navigation, holistic. Well, we'll see. So, I took this knowledge from two books, which are already both nearly 25 years old. The new information could be found in the internet. And there's also, Dr. Igenot just told me, a book called Cognition in the Wild. And that is something which it really is. It is something in the air. It is like e-navigation. It is something in the air. The wavelength of this information is different than that one of eNav, but we have to find it or to feel it somehow. This picture shows how important it was for this huge area, which has one culture, one language, to have navigation, and this is already, as far as we can say today, nearly 5,000 years ago, that they had very skilled and good navigation. What do they use for navigation? Well, the stars and the waves. What do they not use? They don't use any instruments, not the sextant or so. This is not the ancient navigation or historic navigation what I'm talking of. It's earlier, or talking about, it's earlier than that. It's without any instruments. The only instrument is, let's say, the own mind and also the own body, the feeling in the waves, for example. It is the basic part of this interaction between these three, nature, human and technology, the basic and origin of all interaction before technology came in. I talked about the other things between human and his own technology and how to use it, which are, for example, aids to navigation and the resources of nature, environmental protection. But this interaction between human and nature is the basic thing, I should say. Well, as I said, the knowledge was nearly lost because it was no longer so interesting with the coming up other systems, as we all know. And the University of Hawaii and the Polynesian Voyaging Society tried to find out by experimental voyages with a rebuilt canoe how it could have worked 4,000, 3,000, 1,000 years ago. And as nobody of today has so much knowledge of the stars, as an old navigator from Polynesia or Micronesia could have had, looking to up to the stars from young years on, they used the planetarium. That's what you see in the background. It's the planetarium, the machine in the planetarium, to get experience about the sky, the stars. These are pictures of the voyages. So you see, it was not straight on. It was a lot of trying and so to find the right way with the waves, with the stars, and at last find the island. Well, some of the peoples involved, I like very much this old man in the middle, Will Kieselka. He is something like a thinker, not a doer like the others, and he wrote this book, An Ocean in Mind. And well, like Henry the Navigator in Portugal, who has never been out to sea, but provided a lot of theory which was basing for what the Portuguese mariners did also some time ago. And Mau Pia-Iluk again, from whom we learned that. Oh, I cannot say we, I was not involved. I just want to tell you because I think we can learn something about that today, how to get a holistic approach and also a unity of feeling, thinking and intuition. So that's I think, basic if we go with enough and modern technology, that we keep the basic feeling where we are